सर नमस्कार.
Please give a big hand.
मारो
आप जाएं
Please come. Let's join together. 2-3 लोग हाथ बढ़ाएं.
सर आप आ जाइए ना, सब लोग आ जाइए, प्लीज कम, प्लीज ज्वाइन.
आप भी तो जाएं सर.
Everybody together. सारे आ जाओ यार. सर पर रिकॉर्डिंग होगी.
Yeah, smile. Thank you.
Thanks.
आइए सर.
The highest civilian honor, I would say, he has been given the Druk Thukse in Bhutan, and he is also the presidential awardee, Rasi Bhartiya. Please give him a big hand. He has been here before, but for the last 2 years, we are not having him because of certain health reasons. He has taken time out for us and he has come. So it's a big day for us. We have my dear friend, Dr. Jagvi Rawat, who is transforming the rural economy sector and also trying to integrate, I would say, the rural economy in a very different way and also into organic fertilizer. He is the pioneer in organic fertilizer in India, and he is leading it all around, not only for Haryana but also for the rest of the country. We'll see a lot of changes. Please give a big hand to Dr. Jagmeet Rawat. He founded first an organization called FICADS, but now he is heading what we call as the Bharat Innovation Research and Development Forum. Am I right, sir? So that's what it is. Other than that, he needs no other introduction because he's one of the stalwarts in the revolution that will happen for the farm sector. Something different from just, where we have on one side we see minimum support price being discussed. On the other side is to find out how to make the farm activity a highly coordinated and circular economy. And so I have a dear friend, Khazachi Saab's colleague, who built the Tala project, both of them stalwarts, DP Goyal, just besides him. Please see, he was the fastest project hydropower completed in the country was Karcham Wangtu, 4 years flat, done by this gentleman. Please give him a big hand. It was also done in the private sector. That time belonged to the JP group, right? Of course, the project now is with JSW. Am I right? The asset has gone to them. But it was built under the JP group by him, right? Not only that, both of them completed one of the best projects in the Indo-Bhutan, the Tala hydroelectric project, 1020 megawatt. It was a challenge of sorts that came before the bilateral, which we'll be discussing today. 2008, India and Bhutan declared a 10 gigawatt worth of bilateral. Before that, that project had come. It was a landmark. In fact, if I say that Dr. Manmohan Singh's time saw that also, and that was the encouragement to go to the bilateral. So please give a big hand to him. Honored by the King of Bhutan, a gentleman who is honored by the King of Bhutan, Druk Tukse is amongst us, honored as by the president with the presidential award of the Pravasi Bharati. So he's sitting amongst us. So you people must feel very proud.
Fantastic.
That aapke madhye hi aaye hain. Then I have my dear friend Tamal Mitra, who is into another revolution. His revolution is he's another agro man, and I am happy that Raut Sahab is meeting him today because अब इनको जोड़ना भी था, वो भी जुड़ गए. Be very careful. So today, very important day. We are meeting for two purposes. On the right, you can see the picture of the book that is going to be released, and we are waiting for great gentleman TKA Nair, who is with your institution, and thanks to Bansal Sahab that we have him. But I have met him a couple of times, and also somewhere in my Kerala group where I am involved, he is also there silently watching everything. And his name is, he's a very respected man, not only in Kerala, but actually he was a principal advisor and also the secretary in the PMO for two prime ministers. And both the prime minister's biography, now luckily I am through with it. The first one was Atal Bihari Vajpayee. That was the first biography on a prime minister called Atal Shastra. And today I am releasing the Manmohan Granth, which is on Dr. Manmohan Singh, the great man. And he was secretary to both the prime ministers. So we'll have him here, right amongst us. And of course, you are our lucky institution because he's on your governing board, thanks to Bansal Saab's friendship. And what to say? Manmohan Singh Saab, if he had worked or given his name to two institutions, the one institution I don't remember is the Chandigarh one, the other was NDIM. So give a big hand to yourself. So with this brief, I thought we will see the film. If we can put that up, am I right? First, Tyaga, first the film, yeah. So let's see that.
Get jobs while they're at the campus. So we have been recorded in very kind. Industry has been very supportive, sir, because the students are supposed to pass on after 24 months. Our students get jobs almost 6 months before that, sir. They are at the campus only for about 18 months. Yes, sir. That is very responsible. Industry supports us in a very, very big way.
years and continuous institution-industry interface goes a long way in improving this teaching learning process. I'm very happy to know that NDIM has been declared the best industry-linked management institution 2 years in a row in 2017 and 2018. Survey conducted by the Government of India, AICTE and the Confederation of Indian Industry. I understand that many other objective surveys by SHM, KPMG, PwC and such others have also lauded the contribution of your institution as an effective provider of industry-defined management skill sets. I congratulate your college for its stellar performance as a responsible, progressive institution in bridging the skill gap. I would expect the graduates to continue to learn, unlearn, relearn, to maintain, to remain contemporary in their skills.
May I request Doug Saab also to please join the dais? May I request Bawa Saab to please come over, sir?
Your future. These are the only precious time making your future. Please come, sir. We are waiting for you.
Sir, we are waiting
No,
for
we
you.
are yet to start the whole thing, sir. Please come. Yeah. No, sir. No, we are sorry for the late conveyance reaching you, sir. Yeah. Yeah, it is very bad. Yes, sir. And can you believe that he's come from Trivandrum yesterday to attend this board meeting? He could have attended the board meeting online. Why did he come? Because they are really concerned as to see whether you are getting the right education or not, whether we are creating right future for you people or not. So we should be, your life, all of you, we need to be indebted to such people who are so much concerned about your career more than your parents. And I was talking to you about Dr. Singh when I asked him, and he said, Bansal साहब, अब हम इनको क्या सिखाएंगे, अब हमारा टाइम इनसे सीखने का है. So please understand the statement that he gave. He had so much of faith in your hard work, in your wisdom, in your future. So time has come that you come forward with new ideas, you come forward with great things. What you still do not know, all the time you see as difficulties after you, how to be respectful to each other. You want to sit down? Yeah.
This could as well be a competition, how to unwrap a gift.
भाई तालियों में दम होना चाहिए. Now without fail, it has been a journey. Nair Sahab has come, so just 2 words. So Nair Sahab is right amongst here. It's a very lucky day that this book is pleased by him, and I was telling Dr. Montek Singh Alwalia gave me an idea. I was just going to say that, and he told me for the power sector, I was writing a book, sir, Power in Crisis that time. So Dr. Alwalia, I met him. So he said, Nair sir, don't write too much. You take the idea of a 100-page book. So he was the man who sent me on this leather hunt on 100-page books. Less than 100 pages what we would like to read. So I wrote the book Power in Crisis within that. And it has been that trend throughout, that after the India Brandish book, which was roughly about 150 odd pages, I came down to 100 pages book. And all my biographies have been below 100 pages. So it has been, because then people read. And today it's even worse, people are not reading. So as a journalist, where I wrote for the Indian Express Energy Talk, I learned to write crisp and short. So one of the ideas that came was from Dr. Alwani himself. Because he said, today people don't have time, so give us books which we can implement. So Power in Crisis was a power sector reforms book, which became an idea, and then I have continued doing that. So that's why I write brief books, clear books, and luckily people have read it, and I'm happy that these kind of books will bring the generations to think about what these great gentlemen did for India. 4 Prime Ministers now, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, Atal Shastri, then Narasimha Sutra, Narasimha Rao, Rajiv Samhita, Rajiv Gandhi, and this is the 4th on the Prime Minister, Manmohan Singh. But in between I had 2 more biographies on Dr. V. Krishnamurthy, which is called PSC Pitamaha, and before that is Yogendra Prasad, another dear friend of ours, who was senior to many of us, and he was colleague of our Khazanchi Sahab, who are hydro people of the country, and also Khazanchi Sahab has built the hydropower projects in Bhutan. We all know that. The Druk Sukse, highest civil honor. So I'm very happy to have all of you and see the release of this book in time. That's thanks to Bansal Sahab's encouragement to me कि आप करो भाई इसको जल्दी से nothing. And then today was my anniversary, so my wife also, marriage anniversary, has given me the permission to come here. So the Prime Minister, this is a day when you cannot miss your home, right? So I come here, right? So this has happened. So for Dr. Manmohan Singh. So with this, I request you, sir, to enlighten us on your own work with Dr. Manmohan Singh, and maybe after you go through this book, I would receive a letter from you to further improve or further write something, further include certain things. So these books are all dynamic, The next edition has more, many times. So, Nair, it's over to you, sir. The dais is yours, sir.
I have not read the book.
No worries, sir. We need to hear from you. On Dr. Manmohan Singh.
सर बैठ के भी बोल सकते हैं यहीं से
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल वहीं से
भी कंफर्टेबल बैठ के ही बोल सकते
उसी से
Oh, yeah.
वो भी ठीक है
I-
हैं हाँ
यही अच्छा है
Chairman of this very prestigious institute, my good friend for a long time, Dr. Bansal, the author of the book that has just been released before us, Mr. Gopalakrishna Iyer, if I get that correctly, okay, and with a very, very distinguished, esteemed management professionals and friends of this institution, adorning the dais, members of the faculty of NIDM, dear students. Well, I do not know what Mr. Gopalakrishna Iyer has put into his book, but good or bad, he has assured us that it can't be more than 100 pages. It is good. And from what he said, we know that he has mastered the art of cursive writing, isn't it? That's nothing exceeding 100 pages. Very good. I think it's a lesson for other authors also, let us hope. Well, I need not tell you that there are people who believe that the days of the printed word and the printed books are nearly over. The new generation is taking to other modes or methods of learning things. But let's, based on whatever are the current trends, let's hope that, or let's believe that for a few more years at least,
the print will dominate the what you call the transmission of knowledge from authors and others to the general public. So congratulations, Dr. Nair, for this book. Well, as one who has spent a decade with the great Dr. Manmohan Singh, well, I somehow I feel that I am greatly obliged to you personally
My
also
son-in-law.
for taking the name of Dr. Manmohan Singh. Of course, he's known all over, not only India, all over the world. And I was telling Mr. Bansal yesterday evening that to my great surprise, I found, while I was traveling in the remote part of my native state, Kerala, that, even in the very, very remote, hilly, rural areas of that state, people know Manmohan Singh. At several places, where there is a road crossing or a junction, traffic used to slow down, there you have a picture of Manmohan Singh with, in Malayalam, we pay homage to you, and rose petals. I mean, this is not urban India, this is rural Kerala. And as you know, Dr. Manmohan Singh did not spend much time in Kerala, he never taught there. He did address a couple of meetings, sure, and at the same time, imagine a rural people, a rural folk who haven't had the opportunity of meeting Dr. Manmohan Singh or hearing him, remembering his memory with the great gratitude. Well, as Dr. Nair would have brought out beautifully in his book, that was the essence of the man. He was humility personified. That's the way I found him. The time I met him long ago, and the time I met him last, I think that particular special characteristic of the human being has not changed. He mentioned about his practice of seeing off his visitors, even when he was not in the pink of his health, coming out of the room, standing by till the car leaves, and he waves to the visitor. That was the man that he was. And it was not meant only for special people to everyone. Whoever have had the opportunity of meeting him received the same kind of treatment. I'm sure sensitive people would have noticed that, it would have registered on them, and it would have hopefully influenced their own way of treating other people. And Dr. Nair, I hope you have captured the other point that I am trying to make, that he is one who never cared for publicity. Never. I can say it, I have heard from him telling me, and also telling me to tell others working with us, that never make it appear to anybody that this is my achievement. No, it is not my achievement, it is a cabinet system of governance. We have a political party. Within that, we are all contributing to decisions. So the credit or discredit, he won't say discredit, the credit won't go to me, and make it a point to convey it to everybody. And I did convey it on several occasions to several people. Some of them are leaders still alive, saying that please make sure that no particular credit or praise is given to Dr. Manmohan Singh for this. You've got any number of schemes, starting with this Mahatma Gandhi Rural Employment Generation Program, then plethora programs, and the new beginnings made. You remember the Right to Information Act? I mean, it's such a path-breaking legislation. And as a matter of fact, there's no state secret in it. Many of us in the bureaucracy were not very happy with that when he mooted that idea. As a matter of fact, I remember having gone to him. I never used to write much on the files. Whenever I have to convey something to him, I met him and I conveyed it informally. I said, sir, there is a great feeling among the civil service that they will be, they will be prevented, not prevented legally, but they will be hesitant to express their views on the files because of the fear that it might get into public domain, they will become subjects of dispute, kind of things. But he stood firm, no, nothing doing. It will be there. You remember, many of us have forgotten about it. He staked the future of his own government when it came to the Indo-US nuclear deal. I'm sure you would have mentioned that.
One full chapter.
There's a full chapter on that. I'm glad about it. At this point of time, particularly in the current context, we do not remember that. We don't, we don't think that it was such an important step for India and its relations with the rest of the world. But at the time when it was done, again, I can watch for it. I have seen that happening. It was, the personal chemistry of two great people, if I may say, President Bush and Dr. Manmohan Singh, which was behind this. The two of them, I remember even hearing it, no secret about it. He told his people, President Bush, that I do not know the nitty-gritty of it, but I want to see that this is done. So that was the determination which came from the top. And in India, it encountered so much of discussion. It encountered, he faced so much of criticism, even from his own party. But still, he was undaunted. He was firm in his belief, in spite of his very, very, charming exterior and soft exterior, if I may say so. He had an iron will when it came to getting things done for the good of the country. He believed that opening up the nuclear sector, but today we are told very, very happily that nuclear power plants will come, hopefully in the near future. But regrettably, for a number of reasons, immediately after the agreement between India and the US was passed, even 2-3 years later. Why 2-3 years? Even today, no great follow-up has happened on that. We have not got any new nuclear projects coming up, for a number of reasons, including, differences in policy perceptions, the Indian law, which the American companies who are interested in setting up nuclear power plants in India felt that they were very, very one-sided, and they did not take care of the interests of the investors. Anyway, be that as it may, I mentioned that as a point to emphasize the concern of the man for what he believed to be the good of his country, and also his preparedness to stake the future of his own government, his own cabinet, for getting done what he believed to be good for the country. So, we have heard during the past few days so much about the economic reforms which he initiated from the time he was the finance minister under the then Prime Minister, Mr. Narasimha Rao, and subsequently which he followed up in greater detail and greater authority when he was the Prime Minister. Well, I, for one, believe that Pandit Nehru laid the foundations of modern India, and subsequent Prime Ministers, particularly Dr. Manmohan Singh, built upon that. You see, this country is not built by one person. It is not built in a year. It's not built by a group of people. A succession of people, succession of leadership from the time of Nehru onwards, I believe, have contributed in their own way for the building up of India. India was, you know what India was in 1947. We were a country which was hungry for food grains. We didn't have enough to eat. We were looking for the PL480 wheat to come from the United States and to the ports. We used to say that from the port to the mouth. That was the story of India at that time. And over a period of time today, we are one of the exporters of wheat and rice and also milk products, dairy products, etc., etc. So we have traveled a long way. And I believe, for one, that each prime minister has made his own contribution. History will be a better guide. Even today, we may not be able to properly understand the significance and the long-term impact of what Dr. Manmohan Singh sought to do or did. So, as he himself used to say, when he was under severe criticism from his own party, as a human being once in a while, he also would feel a little uncomfortable, but as it has come out in the news channels, etc., later on these days, he would say that he believed history would be a better judge.
It will be kindly to him.
I have heard it from him, not once, more than once, and he was also not unduly perturbed by the criticism he faced. He was very severely criticized when he was Prime Minister by his own party also, unfortunately, at times, particularly in the beginning, but later on, that was the Indo-US nuclear deal, and one of the partners of the UPA, the Communist Party, they left as a result of it. So in spite of all these shocks, he stood firm, stood fast, for the reason that he believed it was for the good of India. So here was a man who lived truly in the service of the country. And I think that would be a very, very inspiring example for our younger generation. And I hope you would have the opportunity to read this book. And there are many other things which are coming about him. I mean, he is a human being. We are all human beings. He may not be, totally free from shortcomings. Every human being has his own shortcomings. But the contribution that individuals make, or in this case, what Dr. Manmohan Singh made, well, I think that many, many years to come, you never know what is going to happen in the age of AI and whatnot, but so long as we human beings live and think and talk about things, I think successive generations of Indians will be grateful to him, and many, many people outside India. He has a quote from Obama. We have seen his interaction with various other people without making any extra effort to endear himself to people or to protect himself. History has shown that he succeeded that much more than any other personal effort at projecting oneself. So I join you and him in paying our respects to the memory of Dr. Manmohan Singh, and I would request Bansal Sahab, to consider a suitable way in which our institution can, immortalize him in our way. He was an academic. He was fond of you. He was fond of the institution. He came here. I still remember that. And not only that, many other people of equal, distinction have visited this institution. But maybe I am prejudiced, but I believe that Dr. Manmohan Singh's memory we should suitably perpetuate in some way in an academic way. Thank you very much.
The initial show a video also to everybody present here. Yes, sir.
No, since Nair Sahab has said this, sir, me and Baba were thinking about it. We have a forum called the IMEA Forum, the India Middle East Africa Forum.
Okay.
I released a book called India Middle East Africa. People are not focusing. People are focusing on the India Middle East European corridor. But actually we need a trade bloc called the India Middle East and Africa. So I'm trying to write to the Foreign Affairs Ministry that they should focus on this. This book was launched here last year. And so similarly, and thanks to Manmohan Singh,
I'm thinking of not many other institutions. I'm talking only specifically about
We'll do it here, sir.
NID,
We'll do it here, sir.
because I think his invisible presence helped NID
Yes, for sure.
in a big way, and I hope that it should be in the academic field
So that's what we are trying to do.
No, maybe a scholarship or maybe,
Yeah.
of course, an annual lecture and all that is very common.
Yeah, but we wanted to sir, create a forum on Manmohan Singh sir. That was the Manmohanomics Forum. That came from Baba sir.
Right, sir.
Am I right, sir?
You can,
Because his economic thinking.
we can establish a chair here.
Yeah,
And
that's what I thought.
Yeah, that's right.
You do that
So-
here.
yes.
So exactly what you
There
said.
and he was so keen about education because he himself was,
Yes.
you know his background.
Yes.
Yeah.
So in the field of education, the number of scholarships
Yes.
which he got instituted. So, you evolve your own criteria for selecting the scholars, but a good scholarship scheme, that is, I think one idea. Many other ideas.
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's a great idea that has come, and
Wonderful.
we'll love to own it up, sir. It's a pleasure, and we'll request you to be rather chairing that also.
Yes.
No, sir. No, sir, because it is, you know him so intimately and so well, which none of us even combined would be able to compensate. So it will be good that then it will assume the real proportion that's in your mind. Yeah. So purpose is to take it to that level.
Pencil
sir.
it
Sir.
goes without saying that whatever you
Yeah.
suggest, whatever is particularly for
Yeah.
perpetuating the memory of Dr. Manmohan Singh.
Yes, sir.
Of course, even without our effort, his memory will.
No.
Yeah, for sure.
No, but our job is to take it to
We
the
pick,
next generation
our
students who
bit.
come here,
That's
sir. Yeah. So whatever little we can put 1% into the ocean,
Yes.
we have to be doing, sir. It is primarily keeping us connected with his thought process and with the culture that he created and generated for each one of us. The purpose is only to stay connected with that, sir. Yeah.
And I also request you to
Yes.
consider,
Sir.
after you do a little more thinking, consulting,
Yeah.
etc., when you find the time appropriate,
Sir.
you meet his wife.
I was wanting. I asked Murli
Go
last
and,
night.
go and do that.
I asked
Wonderful.
Mr. Murli last
Now
night.
you do a little more
I will
thinking and
do
go
it.
and convey this.
Right, sir. Because I told Mr. Murli was private secretary to Honorable Dr. Singh, and we were together last night. And I requested Mr. Murli, said, sir, after man shifts to a new house, I'm going to back to Kerala. I said, Murli, no, that will be injustice to the nation. You must stay in Delhi. You are such storehouse of all the memories and information. So please stay back here. So we are going to be doing all that. So I requested him last night. Yeah. Yes.
Wonderful, sir, wonderful. And I think, at least for me, I cannot forget Dr. Manmohan Singh's, not only contribution to the economy as such, but also, sir, the huge reforms that he set in the power sector. People don't talk about it. In this book, I've tried to push that agenda. Whatever you're seeing today in the power sector, it all started with little interactions from our side and what happened at Manmohan Singh's era. Evidence is here. Dr. Garg is sitting right across, the ex-chairman of the PFC. So I tell you, what power sector gained was mind-boggling. Before you came, sir, I spoke about Dr. Krishnamurthy's attachment with him because I was mentored by Dr. Krishnamurthy. So he used to talk a lot about him when in 2004 the National Manufacturing Competitive Council was founded. Of course, it was founded for no reason, 2014, but the body of work, still I am attached with that body of work. It went into the boiler turbine generators that finally we suffered these Chinese giving us substandard equipment, and also when that time only he talked about the quality system and standards, and all this was going through the PMO that time. So I think there are a lot of aspects of Dr. Manmohan Singh which are differently written in my book, and if you pick that up for many of this generation, it will be a great insight because we are now yesterday only talking about the Indian standards for solar, and it is so pathetic that we have talked about 18% efficiency as a good efficiency when we are coming to percusite with 23%, and I have gone to Canada and we know about a material called phenylsilane which gets 29% efficiency. So I think we are drifting away from what Dr. Manmohan Singh had. Nuclear, like you rightly said, it was like I remember talking to Dr. Krishnamurthy about SMTR, small modular thorium reactor, not these SMRs. So I've written about that in the book, and we just discussed with Bansal also just some time back. So I think there are a lot of areas. I know that. So Nair Sahab has to leave, and we heard him. And please give a big hand to both Nair Sahab and Bansal Sahab because the board meeting will continue, and we will continue our discourse. Thank you, Nair Sahab, for your time
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
God bless you.
Yes, sir. We'll meet in Kerala. I'm coming, sir.
Oh,
I'm coming for the hydrogen summit.
most welcome.
Yeah, so we'll
And I've
surely
been
meet.
talking about hydrogen power for a long time.
Our KR Jyotilal is doing good job.
Jyotilal is doing-
Wonderful.
Ah.
I'm part of that group. You are also there, sir. You are a silent presence there. Your blessings are there.
But will we see something in the foreseeable future?
I think, sir. I think something will happen. He's a wonderful man. Jyotilal is a brilliant man.
Okay, sir. See.
Right, sir. Good. Right, sir.
Board meeting, most of them are joining all.
I know.
They're all waiting.
May I request Inderdeep to please join us?
Online. They all join the voting.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
I'm carrying your book to
Yeah, sure. Thank you once again, Nair Saab, and also Bansal Saab. Please give a big hand to them. भाई इंद्रदीप के लिए सीट बनाओ यार.
हाँ हाँ बन गया.
डिस्कशन कुछ होगी ना कि लोग सुनेंगे.